All right, welcome to the HTML page, or at least simple HTML page. So for today's assignment, we're going to make a very simple web page using just the HTML code. Not going to use Dreamweaver. We're going to use Notepad instead. So kind of going to go old school here. So the first thing I'm going to do is open up Notepad, and you can't see my mouse right now, but I went down to Start, and I'm going to go to Run, and the little Run box pops up like that. And now I'm just going to type in there Notepad. Or of course you can just go into like programs. It's inside your program's accessories or something. So there's Notepad. Now Notepad is an old school text editor, which is kind of what HTML is all based on, just text. So I'll show you what I mean by that. If you were to look at a web page, let's say this one, and you were to right click and view the source, this is what a web page really is. A web page is really just a bunch of code, clear text. None of the pictures, none of the colors, none of that stuff is in the page. It's basically like a recipe or directions. So the job of the browser is to look at these directions, all these crazy stuff, and to basically use this as a recipe and build your web page for you as you wait. So this is the file that's actually downloaded on the internet, and then your Internet Explorer, your Firefox, your Chrome, or whatever browser you're using takes these directions and it reads through them, and then it builds that page. And things like pictures, like here's one of my pictures, image source equals fireworks .jpg. So those pictures and things, like this little picture here, that has directions, and it just tells the computer where that file is located. So like that's where I'm saving my file, so then it goes there and it gets it and it puts it in. And like here's a hyperlink, so it can link to that page. And a lot of this stuff kind of looks kind of crazy, but the closer you look at it, and the more in depth you get, you'll start to see that it kind of makes sense. So we're not going to do any coding like that deep. We're going to just do a real simple page today, and we're going to just use our Notepad. And what we're going to do is some of the basic commands that all HTML pages have. And the first command it has is you have to start by telling the browser that you're using HTML. And I'm going to increase my font size a little bit for you. There we go. Okay, so it starts with the HTML tag, and I use that word tag. Basically a tag is like a command in the HTML language. And to designate something as a tag, you have to put it inside those little brackets. And take a minute and find those on your keyboard. They're right next to the M key, and you have to use your shift to get to them. So that begins HTML. Now the next tag that all HTML pages need is a head. So it starts by creating an HTML, then you open the head, and now inside the head, you don't have to put anything inside the head, but one thing that we often put is a title. Make sure I spell it right. So I open the title tag, and you know what I'm going to do just to make it look better? I'm going to indent that. And that just kind of shows us as humans that the head is kind of the beginning of the section, and then the title's inside the head section. Now I'm going to write a little title. This is my simple Notepad page. Now where does the title show up? The title shows up here. See where my mouse is? Up in the blue title bar, whatever the title of the web page, that's where that shows up. So I started it. Now tags almost always come in pairs. So you open a tag just by doing it like that, and then to close the tag, you do the same, bracket, and then this time you do a / title. So that opened the title tag, then I type whatever I want, and then I close the title. So now I'm done with the title. And now I'm going to close my head. I'm going to take a really quick break here and show you. In the old days, we used to put a lot more information in the head. For example, I'll show you my home page. We used to put meta tags, and of course you still can. It doesn't hurt. But like you see here on my web page, my front page, I put these meta names, keywords, and key phrases. And the purpose was back, in the beginning of the internet, for search engines, people would put in keywords, and search engines would come out here and find these keywords and then try to index your page. So that way it would make it easier to find when people typed in things like Lansing Eastern Quakers or Richter or whatever keywords and key phrases I came up with. And the problem was people would make web pages and put all sorts of keywords that really had nothing to do with their page, but things that they thought were popular on search engines. So that way they wanted to try to get their page to come up to the top whenever somebody did a search. So just let me pause for a sec. Mr. Greenberg's here. Okay, anyways, where was I? So that's how it used to work. And then a little website called Google came along, and Google said, you know what, we really don't care what you put in your little meta tags inside your head. See, here I am inside the head. It doesn't matter. We're gonna come down into your body, and the body is the next section, and we're going to read your entire page. And we're going to read every page on your entire site. And we're going to memorize it all. And then we're going to store it in our, rooms and buildings full of servers. They have just whole farms of servers. And that way, whenever somebody types in anything in Google, we're going to go right and we're going to be able to find it without looking at people's headers. So after Google came around, most of that meta stuff, as far as I'm concerned, is not all that important. So now that's the head. So at least we have a title in there. And now I'm going to put in the body. Now I shouldn't say that stuff in the head is totally unimportant. There's a lot of stuff that goes in there for like scripting, if you're doing Java scripting or doing CSS, which is cascading style sheets. So there's certainly a lot of other information that can go in the head besides the meta, what I was talking about, like the meta keywords or key phrases. So I don't want you to leave you thinking that's totally unimportant. But for the simple page, we don't need to worry about it. So now inside the body's where we're going to display the stuff we want on our page. So whatever I type, hello world, that's just going to show up on my page. And the fact that I indented it doesn't matter at all. I just do that for looks. Now, that's just going to be clear text. It's going to be just black. It's nothing. There's no colors. There's no fancy stuff, because every time you want something like that to happen, you have to put the script. So let's say after hello world, I wanted it to do a paragraph break. That's the tag for paragraph break. And now I want to print something in bold. That's the tag. Oops. Strong. That's the new tag. You can also do B for bold, but strong is more better, if you will. Sorry about that. So strong, and then you type, hey. Type whatever you guys want. I'm feeling bold. And if you're done with your bolds, you close them out. Oops, got to spell it right. So there's a strong tag, open it, and there it is. There's whatever I type in between the two tags will be bold. Now I've closed the bold, so I'm back out. And now, how about, what else do we want to do real quick? Pause this. Okay, how about if I want to do a line break, which is in Dreamweaver, is just a shift enter. If you remember, a paragraph break is a complete enter, like a regular enter in your keyboard, but if you do a shift enter, that gives you a line break. And that should just bring it down one line. I'm one line below. So kind of what you're doing, and what the early programmers did when they're building HTML pages, as you're creating the page just with text, in your mind you're kind of envisioning what it's going to look like, and you have to try to get a feel for it. Nowadays, of course, with Dreamweaver, you have a WYSIWYG. It's called what you see is what you get. And in the WYSIWYGs, you're building the page and you're seeing it as you build it. It's a lot easier to work that way, of course. I'm one line below you. Cool, whatever else. Now, when you're done, you close your body out. And then don't forget, there's one more important tag we have to close, because we opened the HTML tag at the top, and now you have to close it at the bottom. Now that's a simple text HTML page, but to actually, let me get this phone. My mouse is missing. There it is. Okay, this video is going on forever, but hey. So here's the key. To turn this into an actual HTML page, it's all about when you save it. Because if I just save it right now, and I just call it like text was what it wants to be called, then it'll be a .txt file. That's not what we want. So first thing is, let me get this into my right folder. I don't even know where I am. I want to save into my H drive, into my web example, my web design. And what you guys should do is make a new folder and call it HTML stuff. You won't have many files. This may be the only one you do, but we'll at least have its own folder. So you call it over here and you say simple HTML or my first HTML, whatever. And here's the key. To turn this into HTML, you have to, I'm not going to call it simple HTML, simple Notepad. You have to put in the .htm yourself, or you can put in the L if you want, either way. But you have to type that in. If you don't, the Notepad program is going to automatically put the .txt in. So by you doing it, you overriding it, you basically just turn that into a web page. Simple as that. So you save it. Now watch. You go out to your my computer. Get over here. H drive. Dang, my H drive is sloppy. Find the web example. Find web design. HTML stuff. There it is. Look at that. By putting that .htm in there, it automatically knew it was internet HTML page, so it's going to use Internet Explorer to open it. So I'm going to double click on that puppy. It's going to open up. You can't see anything because it's too big. Comes down, and it worked. Praise the Lord. Hello world. There's my little paragraph break. Hey, I'm feeling bold. I'm one line below you. That's a single break. That's sweet. Now this is also kind of cool. If you want to make a change, you can view source. Oh, actually no, they changed it now. It used to be that when you did the view source, it would automatically open in Notepad and you can make your changes. Now it's kind of like just giving you a preview. So I'm going to go back to now a Notepad, and I want to add one more thing, and I want to put a little background color, which is inside the body tag. You go in there, you say BG color equals, how about a nice yellow? Sure, whatever. And that's the tag for background color. Now just save this, come back over to your tree view, refresh it, voila, background color is yellow. So that's your very simple page. Now you want to do is go ahead and now you can go to Dreamweaver, and you should open up your index page. Where it at? Oops, get out of code view, go to design view, and then you can add this one in. You can just add it in wherever you are right now. I'm going to call it simple HTML page, and I'm going to link it into this page here. Make sure you use the link, don't use the background. Yes, and if you've already got lesson 6 done, you've got the blue cube done, then don't forget you want to upload both those files using your blue arrow, and I can use the control key to select them both like that. Don't forget you have to upload them every time. If you're still back in like lesson 4 or 5, then don't worry about that. You're going to upload it in a couple days. Now what you want to do is come back to our agendas. Get back here. Get out of here. And now you have a choice. We got our power users. Our power users are people who are already basically done with Dreamweaver. They've got their lesson 5 done. They've already set up their blue cube, or you're going to finish in the next day or two. So power users, if you want to do, is continue with a little bit more HTML, and for extra credit, and go a little deeper into it, and make a second web page using Notepad. That this time you can use background color, which we just did. Also put on background music. And I think the tag is just BG music equals, and then you put the name of the file. You have to download a music file first. And you can go on Google, search around for help on that. A picture, learn how to put a picture in it. And I'm referring to these pages. I'll probably erase this. We do have a book that's in the N drive that gives you some hints. That's kind of boring, but if you want to read it, let me know. And also makes hyperlinks. So if you can figure out how to make hyperlinks and pictures and background music and colors, that'd be a sweet little page, just using the commands. There is an HTML guide that you can use for help. And then I do have a couple more little HTML pages. One just making tables using the commands, as well as one to how to make forms. And I've got both those. I have a video for those already. Those are what we do in Advanced Web. So a video will help you with those. Then this is a very cool one, DHTML. It's kind of old school now, but it allows you to roll over on something and hover and then create those little boxes. I'm not sure if that box shows up in the video or not, but it's good stuff. So, and I'll link up another one or two extended lessons, extra credit stuff for power users. And then standard users, if you guys aren't done with Dreamweaver, you just go back to wherever you are. I'm probably in lesson 4 now. Polish that off, move into 5, and just keep working through it. You won't have to do anything else in HTML. This would be your only one. So sorry about the long video, but hopefully you learned some things along the way.